the family asked the court to sterilize Sierra Harp to prevent any more children being born. We also asked for the highest punishment of life without parole.
Courtroom testimony unlike anything you've ever seen before. Adrena Thurman spent several minutes lecturing her daughter, Sierra Harp, at her sentencing hearing in Clayton County. Harp was just convicted of killing her boyfriend, Raheem Grant, an aspiring rapper and father of Harp's daughter.
Envious nature took control, and you murdered Rahim for moving on without you. You repeatedly hurt the family, our family, and all the people who ever tried to help you.
Raheem Grant's mother had one rule for him whenever he got into an argument with Sierra: turn on your phone. She was afraid Sierra could accuse him of something he didn't do, and without evidence, nobody would know who was telling the truth. So on the night Raheem was shot, he did exactly what his mother told him. He started recording. And what that phone captured would eventually destroy Sierra's claim of self-defense. Raheem wasn't recording from somewhere safe. He was injured, fighting to stay alive, and still recording when he wanted one last chance to see his little girl. This is the story of Raheem Grant, an Atlanta area rapper and producer whose final recording became the evidence that sent the mother of his child to prison for 125 years. Raheem was born in Fayetteville, Georgia, in 1989, and music found him early. By the time he was about 3.5, he was already playing drums. Later, he moved into singing, rapping, writing, recording, and producing. At 7, he performed on Showtime at the Apollo. As he grew older, music became his career, and around Atlanta, he built a name under the stage name Red Beezy. Then he became a father. Raheem met Sierra Harp in 2013. She approached him as a fan, later offering to help promote his music. Their professional relationship became romantic, and Sierra became pregnant. Their daughter, Angel, was born in 2014. Raheem became deeply devoted to his daughter, but his relationship with Sierra did not last. They separated, yet remained connected because of Angel. According to accounts presented during the case, Sierra became increasingly jealous and controlling. Raheem wanted distance from the relationship while still remaining close to his daughter. Because they were not married, his legal position as a father was more complicated, and he began taking steps to strengthen his parental rights. By 2017, he was also preparing for major opportunities in his music career. Then Sierra's situation became unstable. She lost her job and had nowhere secure to stay with Angel. Raheem allowed her to move into his apartment. He was also trying to keep things calm while his custody plans moved forward. But according to his mother, Raheem was becoming concerned about their arguments. He feared Sierra could call police and accuse him of something he hadn't done. His mother gave him simple advice: record the confrontations. Raheem followed it. He also repeatedly told his mother that he didn't think he would live past 25. She told him to stop saying that. He didn't. On December 29th, 2017, Raheem was 28 years old. That night, a neighbor heard gunshots. Soon after, Sierra appeared at the neighbor's door with Angel in her arms. She was bleeding and carrying a handgun. Sierra said Raheem had attacked her. When officers entered the apartment, they found Raheem dead. He had been shot 7 times, including wounds to his back, arms, and head. He also had cuts that appeared consistent with a knife. Sierra told police she had been attacked and fired in self-defense. At first, investigators had to consider that possibility. She was injured, Raheem was dead, and a child was involved. But the crime scene raised questions. If Raheem had attacked Sierra with a knife, how did he end up with those cuts? A friend of Raheem's had also been at the apartment earlier that night and reported tension between the couple before leaving around 10:26 p.m. Then Raheem's mother remembered the phone. She told investigators to check it because her son had been recording his confrontations. The phone was initially locked, but investigators eventually obtained the passcode from Sierra. Inside were 4 videos totaling about 13 minutes. The first showed Raheem alive and already injured, holding the phone himself. Then Sierra appeared. A gunshot rang out. Raheem fell, but the phone kept recording. Now investigators had something far more powerful than competing stories. They had footage from the victim's own phone. And the most important part of that recording had only just begun. The phone footage changed the investigation. Sierra had told police Raheem attacked her, that she was fighting for her life, and that the shooting happened during that struggle. But the recordings gave investigators another perspective. Rahim was already injured when the footage began. After the shooting, Sierra held the phone and continued arguing about what had happened. She repeatedly accused Rahim of abusing her throughout their relationship, a claim that later became an important part of her defense. Investigators, however, had to compare those claims with the evidence they could actually confirm. Sierra had told police that Rahim attacked her legs with a knife. But investigators noticed that the injuries she described did not appear on the footage in the way her account suggested. Prosecutors later argued that some of her wounds had been inflicted by Sierra herself to support a self-defense story. The physical evidence also raised questions. Rahim had been shot 7 times, including wounds to his back and head. The knife wounds on his body added another problem for the original account. Make it make sense. Investigators now had Sierra's statements, witness accounts, the crime scene, the autopsy, and Rahim's phone. Then came the most painful part of the recording. Rahim was still alive after being shot. He was badly injured, but he was trying to communicate. He wanted help. He asked for water. Most importantly, he wanted to see Angel. His little girl was nearby, and Rahim wanted one last chance to hug her. The recording captured Sierra, continuing to argue with him instead of getting emergency help. Rahim even tried to find a way to calm the situation and asked her to contact his mother. But the situation continued until he was shot 7 times. The man who had spent years building a career in music was gone. The father who had been planning his future was gone, and his own phone had recorded the final minutes. Investigators now had to reconstruct everything. They compared Sierra's story with the footage, the physical evidence, and the witness who had left before the shooting. The recordings gave them something ordinary testimony could not, a direct record of what happened inside the apartment. Sierra had described a desperate fight for survival, but the footage and injuries created serious questions about that version. Her wounds also became important because investigators questioned when and how they occurred. The case had moved from a possible self-defense shooting to a homicide investigation. Sierra was hospitalized after the incident, while investigators continued building their case. Geraldine, meanwhile, was grieving her son and dealing with the fact that her granddaughter had lost her father. This wasn't a stranger who had entered Rahim's life for one night. Sierra was the mother of his child and someone who had once been part of his life. Nearly 2 months after the shooting, Sierra Harp was arrested. By then, investigators had the cell phone recordings, autopsy findings, crime scene evidence, witness statements, and Sierra's own accounts. During questioning, investigators showed her the footage, but she continued to maintain that she had been abused and acted in self-defense. Her defense would later rely on self-defense and battered person arguments. When the case reached trial in 2019, prosecutors had the phone. Jurors could hear what was said, see what happened, and compare the recording with the physical evidence. The video became the centerpiece of the case. It wasn't simply someone's memory of that night. It was footage recorded by the victim himself. The jury ultimately found Sierra guilty. But sentencing would bring another painful chapter, because some of the people speaking against her would be members of her own family. After the guilty verdict, Sierra's case moved to sentencing. She apologized to Rahim's mother and said alcohol had affected her judgment that night. But then her own family members took the stand. Sierra's mother, Adrienne Thurmond, spoke against her daughter and asked the judge for the harshest punishment.
How mad do you have to make your own mom to have her ask the judge to sterilize you? This murder case is taking family drama to new levels, pitting a mom against her own daughter.
That's right. So the daughter was convicted of shooting her boyfriend 7 times in front of their kid. 11 Alive's Ryan Kruger has the mom's tough message to the judge.
Yeah, this is one of the most bizarre cases we've ever covered. Adrena Thurman called her daughter a conniving and manipulative liar. She hopes her daughter never walks free again. And folks, that's not all. Listen to this.
We, the family, asked the court to sterilize Sierra Harp to prevent any more children being born. We also asked for the highest punishment of life without parole.
Courtroom testimony unlike anything you've ever seen before. Adrena Thurman spent several minutes lecturing her daughter, Sierra Harp, at her sentencing hearing in Clayton County. Harp was just convicted of killing her boyfriend, Raheem Grant, an aspiring rapper and father of Harp's daughter.
Envious nature took control and you murdered Rahim for moving on without you. You repeatedly hurt the family, our family, and all the people who ever tried to help you.
Thurman says she tried to teach her daughter personal responsibility, but she never listened. Meanwhile, our cameras caught Harp mouthing profanity toward her mother, which we've blurred.
You reveled in disrespect, foolery, and ignorance. Wherever you went, chaos and trouble were sure to follow.
Ooh, that was tough. You also noticed some other strange things about this case.
So one of the most bizarre things about this case, the victim actually recorded his own death on his phone. Now, police say during the video, it shows Raheem Grant begging to see his daughter after Harp allegedly shot him 7 times. Now, she faces life in prison. She'll be sentenced later this month.
All right, wow, thank you so much, Ryan. Chris.
This was something else. It was a startling turn of events. A mother took the stand during her daughter's sentencing and let her have it.
Oh, yeah. Channel 2's Tom Jones is live in Clayton County. Tom, the defendant's mother asked the court to give her daughter the maximum punishment.
Javita Sierra Harp's mother asked the judge to give her daughter life without parole, and she told Harp there are consequences when you are manipulative, when you are a liar, and when you are a murderer.
With no regards whatsoever, you murdered and you snatched Angel's dad away from her.
One relative after the other.
I hope God don't have mercy on your soul, as you didn't have mercy on his.
Took the stand during this sentencing hearing for convicted murderer Sierra Harp.
So we're asking that the court impose the maximum punishment.
But none had the impact of Harp's own mother.
You reveled in disrespect, foolery, and ignorance.
Adrena Thurman gave her daughter a tongue lashing.
Wherever you went, chaos and trouble were sure to follow.
A jury convicted Harp last month for the murder of Raheem Grant, the father of her child. Harp recorded herself shooting Grant multiple times over several minutes in front of their daughter. Harp gave her mother the stink eye and mouthed a profanity, then called her a female dog after she lit into her. Thurman said Grant told her days before his murder he was improving his life and had new plans.
I know for a fact these plans did not include you.
She thinks that's why Harp murdered Grant. Grant's mother wanted the death penalty, but it wasn't on the table.
You showed no mercy for my son, Sierra, and I should ask the court to show no mercy for you.
And the judge delayed sentencing Harp until later this month because one of her attorneys left the case. We're live in Clayton County. Tom Jones, Channel 2 Action News.
The judge sentenced Sierra Harp to 125 years in prison, but the case did not completely end there. Years later, Sierra sought a new trial. Her new attorneys argued that her original defense had failed her and challenged aspects of the original case. Then another unexpected development came forward. Rahim's sister, Lavoya Williams, testified in support of Sierra's claims that Rahim had been abusive. But during questioning, she acknowledged that she had not personally witnessed the alleged abuse. Geraldine rejected the accusation that her son had been violent towards Sierra. She maintained that if she had ever learned he was abusing a woman, she would have reported him herself. The later legal challenge reopened arguments that had surrounded the relationship from the beginning. Was Sierra telling the truth about the abuse? Was the shooting self-defense? Or did Rahim's phone capture a very different story? Those questions continued to be argued. But one thing remained clear. The phone had changed the case. Rahim's mother told him to record because she was afraid there could be a dispute over what happened. He listened. That recording survived him. It preserved the final moments of a father who never got to watch his daughter grow up. Angel lost her father while she was still a little girl, and Geraldine was left carrying the grief of losing her son while helping raise her granddaughter. The case contains competing claims about the relationship, allegations of abuse, family conflict, and years of legal arguments. But the evidence that mattered most to the jury was recorded that night. A phone. 4 videos. About 13 minutes. And a father trying to survive long enough to see his daughter one more time. Sometimes a simple decision can become the most important evidence in a murder case. Rahim's mother told him to press record. He did. And when he could no longer tell investigators what happened, his phone told the story for him. If stories like this remind you how quickly a relationship can turn dangerous, don't just watch and move on. Subscribe to Fable of Crime because we bring you the cases, the warning signs, and the details that deserve to be remembered. And if you have a thought about this case, drop it in the comments. Your voice matters.